Ooh, I'm live. Woohoo. Another day, and it's done. I can do a few small things to get myself ready for bed because I'm tired. I'll tell you what, I drove to work this morning and I went down the dirt roads again. It's a few short moments in my day that I got to enjoy not being pulled in a million different directions. Um, and then on the way home, just the thoughts coming, just, I guess, trying to solve problems. My problems, the work problems, the homeless problems, the mental health problems, the just problems that a lot of people don't give a shit. And wanting, desiring, creating abundance. But what does that mean to me, and how to, they say, they, the people that I've studied, say this is how you do it. They talk about you can't be mad at the rich if you want to be rich, because that's kind of this blockage you put on yourself. And I get that, I do. But what can you do to find it in yourself not to be angry about people who are putting, pesticides and, but I've used them myself. I don't like it, but I'm telling you what, sometimes I don't remember my face. Sometimes it's just required. It's like my cats brought fleas in this summer, and I was mortified. Mortified to have fleas. I haven't had fleas in years. I was so grossed out. And, it took me back to childhood, and it was, and I don't want to tell that story because, well, nobody's going to know this person, and I doubt this person will see this, but if you do, I'm sorry. But I remember growing up, um, some good friends had dogs and they had fleas, and it was horrible. I remember going to their house. I remember my friend just having scratches and just from the flea bites, and it was just horrible. It was just, ugh. And I've had fleas in my house before because of pets and taking care of them. The flea bombs and my parent. I get it. It's kind of like not as bad as lice or other things you can get, but man, I was tripping out. It was horrible. So I used bug bombs, and I was a little unnerved by this because it killed spiders that, I don't kill spiders. I take them outside. Um, Shoot, I could probably have been overrun by spiders, my whole house, wolf spiders. Just, and they're beneficial, but geez Louise, I felt bad when I found dead spiders after. But I don't know. Back to saving everything, wanting to save everything, but also wanting to. I don't know. Sorry, saw something pop up over here, but it's it's a reality. And I can remember my friend who she is all for animal rights, and she's an activist, and it's beautiful. And somebody gave her a leather coat, and we were talking about how beautiful the coat was and how great she looked in it because she didn't try it on. And she's like, I know. She's like, it's such a value, such a like this thing where it's a beautiful coat, and it was just, I don't know, but still, also, it's they hurt an animal for it. And the other thought was, well, it's already been done. So it's just, those thoughts. It's like, what do we do? How do we get over this and just get over ourselves, I guess, and just be happy and have fun and be in joy and have abundance. I mean, this is the thoughts that go through my mind. And sorry, I'm de-stressing from a day. I'm de-stressing from a day and just trying to write a plan or make a plan on what I'm going to get done. Because like I said, I have a lot of projects, um, remodeling, having a good time doing it. I love the work. It's more, well, I don't want to say fun. It's easier with another person, and I've done it. And I don't know, when you don't share other forms of intimacy, and that's the only thing, when you feel more like work buddies and roommates, it just doesn't work. So, I mean, I guess in my other aspect of that, I've had people who have offered to help and then they expect things in return that I'm just not. I'm not. Yeah. I mean, I'll do it myself. Hyper independence. Said that on a video before. You know, it's a form of trauma response, which I've had a lot of trauma. So, and I've been healing and working on healing, and this is part of my healing journey, is to be able to come online and be okay with scratching my head. Next one, I might have one of those little, oh, the massagers. Next one, I might have a massager with me, and you might see me doing that because I had one in the car. And I haven't seen it lately. I'm gonna have to find it, and I will sit at a stoplight and just those things feel so good. They feel just so good, and just unbinding all those little muscles that just get so tight. We get bags and lines and wrinkles, and I am just like, woo, get that stress off me. Off. Get that stress off me. Saw me earlier. I have sage going because, well, this isn't sage. This is actually pine, and so yeah, it's beautiful. I enjoy it, and it helps. There is even research out there about sage, but I'm sure aromatherapy. This is aromatherapy, and there's also other properties to some of these plant medicines that we burn that are beneficial. So I guess I'm not saging my house. I'm pining. Pining away for someone I may never know. Because that's the honest truth. I would love to have somebody here helping me, somebody that I could trust and somebody that I can talk to and who understands me and we can laugh and joke and sing and dance and I'm being patient because so far, sorry, this is fun for me. But anyway, so far I attract damaged, not damaged, I'm trying to go where I work, we're going with more client centered language. So it's not judgmental and prejudiced and all the things, like looking at somebody and just saying, you know, some some term, like I just said, damaged. Um, I think wounded, hurt. Um, yeah, I get it. The hurting, the wounding, the fear, and even the difference in, say, the way they were raised as boys versus me as I was raised as a girl. Um, this is long before, I mean, we had people who were gay and queer, but this non binary and pansexual and bisexual, this is, I don't want to say it's new because I'm sure it, but it's just becoming more of a, it's being reintroduced because there is a article about an Indian tribe that had, I think, five genders. So there was the male who liked females, so females that like males that like males, females that like females, and then another one that there was more the non-binary. So very interesting. A lot of interesting things out there about the way people used to live in tribes and how they viewed things versus how we view things now, and even the way people deal with grief. I was a hospice nurse for a while, and I remember these young ladies lost their father, and we were at a nursing facility, and they lost it. They were on the ground, rolling, wailing, and everybody was so uncomfortable. But I was intrigued. I was curious. I was like, wow, that's pretty powerful. I mean, that seeing that was like almost, I mean, it's not freeing because you're going to be feeling grief, but almost freeing. And there's, not to what's the word I'm looking for? Not to condone self-harm. But there's stories of like Indian tribes where, like, Native Americans here, not Middle East Indian, um, how when they lost their husband, they made three marks on their arm and they represented something. I don't remember what. I can go look it up, but I'm not going to do that right now. But they cut themselves and to let out the pain, and working in mental health and knowing self harm from a personal level, that's what people self harm for, to release feelings, to feel something, or maybe sometimes to feel something different than the mental health feelings. Like those thoughts, it was, you're just, woo, you're just trying anything to relieve that pain. And sometimes that's physical pain. And so these Indian tribes, these women would cut their arms three times. Never self harmed after that. Let's make that real clear. And I'm not condoning this on any level, but in that instance, it was allowed. And I suppose that's kind of like what they're trying to do with the Oh, the facilities in different other states. California is one I'm sure of, where they have the do no harm clinics. Or I don't. There's a special name for them. I should know it, but I don't. But anyway, they hand out Narcanon. Is it Narcanon? Narcan. Narcan. No. Narcan. And people can have that in case they overdose. They can give it to their family, their friends. I know that my daughter's been saved by it. But they have these clinics where it's kind of like a methadone clinic, but people are able to use drugs in a safe manner. Believe me, I struggle with that really, really hard. Having been in relationships with hardcore addicts throughout my life, um, I don't even know why I didn't grow up with parents that were addicts. Um, and part of it was the savior complex, the I'm going to love you and show you what love is. I remember having that thought. Like, wow, he doesn't know what love is. I'm going to show him. Ah, that's not what happened. No, he showed me. Yes. Showed me domestic violence, showed me cheating, showed me stealing, lying, manipulation, gaslighting. This is what I was taught. It wasn't the other way around. And so, yeah, I suppose that's part of the reason I'm very careful now as well, and may end up single the rest of my life. Because, and then to follow that by a second relationship, a little bit better. I always laugh at myself and say, well, I did improve a little bit each time, but kind of hard not to improve from the first. So, in the second, that was, yeah, that was completely a nightmare. And I feel like I have been trying to clean up the messes that these addictive relationships, toxic relationships had on myself, and then thus affected my children. And the guilt sometimes is just overwhelming, completely overwhelming. That if I'd been in a different kind of relationship, if I'd been with a different kind of man, if I'd made different decisions, if I would have just stayed single and just raised, even after the first, I got my children. I am always grateful for that. I am. They I have worked to improve and make amends and repair and everything. I've tried. Well, there might be more out there. I don't know yet. The ideas come, and at this point, I'm at a loss though. And I don't know about a loss. I don't like to use the word loss, but because that goes in with loss and scarcity and abundance. And I suppose this is where I just let go and let whatever higher power is out there say the serenity prayer, take a hot bath, and go to bed. That's my answer right now because I just have no control. The only person I can control is myself, and boy, I have a good time with that. But no, I'm pretty good. I stay home. I do my chores. I've just got a lot on my plate. A lot on my plate. A lot I'm trying to get done, and I'm just ready for it to be calm and the flowers to have grown and everything to be like I imagine in my mind. The clover all over, the cone flowers, the or echinacea, the mint, the rosemary, the lavender, a moon gate, paths, just the hot tub, and then inside conversations and got a gas stove and cooking and having friends and maybe even a partner someday just to enjoy uh, what I'm doing, I guess, what I'm trying to create. Like I said, sometimes it would be nice if I met somebody who wanted to hear my vision and help me create it. Um, oops, got some card jumpers. I'm shuffling cards right now. I like to hear what Spirit has to say through this Oracle deck, or yeah, guess it's an Oracle deck. Um, I don't read it like say you would tarot. I guess I would use this with a tarot deck, but I wouldn't. I know I'm moving a lot. Maybe it's ADHD. Maybe it's just nervousness that I'm on the camera, and I'm making a point to do this. Whether anybody sees it or not, that is not the point. The point has something to do with being brave and practicing and talking to myself. You know, you can see myself. I'm talking to myself, and we're talking about what we've been through and where I am now. I mean, I guess I've done pretty good. It's time to get out of that survivor mode, though. I mean, it's paycheck to paycheck. The fear, ugh, just the fear's never gone. You just take the steps, right? Despite the fear. So, knock on this for a minute. Let those think for a minute. Wait, this is an oracle deck, yes. So this is Earth Warriors Guidebook. Um, lots of the most beautiful artwork on this, and I will say this until I actually figure it out. This would be so beautiful. It is so beautiful when you get them under black light. That they are beautifully done. Um, they inspire me, and I've done a few videos now, and I've read cards, and it seems like the right one comes out, and it really connects, and then I end up crying. It's all right. Release, right? Scrubbing my head, rubbing my face, releasing all the tension. Um, Crying is a good release. So if I cry, I cry. I don't mind crying. So, there must be a lot to burn. My pining, my pine, I'm pining. Pine's still going. I'm pining over an old lover. Please. That irritates my ass to think of pining over an old lover. Probably get irritated ass now for saying that. God bless all my old lovers. I hope they're doing great. I hope they're doing fine. I hope they got it figured out. And this is the one that just kind of flipped over and looked at me. These eyes is what did it. The eyes did it. I said, this is the one. This look, this cat, and then these beautiful flowers and orange. So those were the eyes that were looking at me. When it flipped over, I said, oh, yep, 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 yep. This beautiful being, this universal energy, wanted to make its way out for us, for me. Man, that thing wouldn't burn at all the other night. Now it's just like you can't see the smoke, but it's, yeah. Wow. I'm burning off something. Something's burning right now. Burn, baby, burn, disco inferno. Oh my gosh, I have to tell you this story. When I moved into this house a year ago, so much happened up to me arriving. And I threw the cats in the car because there was a lot of pressure from the buyer's realtor. Yeah, I'm still thinking about that one. And so I threw the cats in the car. I mean, I had planned to give them a little catnip, maybe a little CBD, put them in safely into pet carriers. But this woman, yeah, was, yeah, rubbing this out. So anyway, my little kitty cat, he got out of the van and ran away. I haven't seen him since. He was my baby. He would sit on my he would sit on my chest and he would just pat my face with any of these big fluffy paws. I know, Jasper. I'm sorry. I love you too. You got even your tiny paws. You did your tiny paws. But anyway, I'm sure there's a reason for it. I mean, even though my heart was broken. So yesterday, and I still look for him every once in a while. I even went out to my old house, which is about 30 minutes from here. And I'm not talking like LA 30 minutes. I'm talking prairie 30 minutes, like Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma. I'm talking, parts of um, Texas, anywhere that's got a little, you're going rural. Yeah, that kind of 30 minutes. And there's not traffic jams around here. We don't sit in on the highway for hours like you do in California. I've been there. Beautiful, beautiful. I love it. A three, like, so I have to go back. I may not because that would be a lot, but it seems like last night's was 33 and the night before was 34. So these threes keep coming up. So 30, so this is three, and this is totemic, totemic, totemic puma, power awakening. Well, that's kind of interesting. Interesting. Like, I like looking at my hair too. Sorry. The curls, I need to work with them a little bit. They're a little bit sad today because they've been up. I had my hair up for a little bit because I was at work, and it just gets. I love it. I love wearing it down. I love feeling it in the wind. I just do. I love it. And when I'm at work, sometimes it just gets to be too much. When I've got to listen to these complaints and answer this question and go that way and then go that way and this way, and it's just finally got to just put it up because it's just too much. I love it though. Anyway, yeah, I keep going off. Squirrel. Um, Totemic Puma. Power Awakening. I am Puma. With you, I awaken the vigorous energy, fierce power, and ability to act without hesitation when the moment is right. My patience and strategy, my preparation and precision, my fearlessness and decisiveness are now your own. Allow my sacred medicine to fill your soul and bring courage to your heart. You have come into your power. You've got this. Don't let fear or hesitation hold you back. Apply yourself fully to the task. Let go of old ways of viewing yourself as incapable, scattered, or wasteful of energy. Ooh, interesting. Earlier, I was worried about wasting energy by relaxing and just, I don't know. I've got to come to terms with that, but we'll see. It's probably a dopamine issue because I like to play this color app on my phone where it's kind of like a paint by number, but coloring on your phone. And I will spend a couple hours doing that. I could probably be doing something else, but I'm not on Facebook, which I just have read an article recently that talks about how Facebook affects or social media affects your brain. So I don't know. I don't know if YouTube social media or not, but basically I'm just doing a discussion with myself. So not really expecting anybody else to see this or watch this. And if you do, thank you. I appreciate it. Um, anyway, back to Miss Mr. Puma. Looks male, but could surprise me. Anyway, you have the ability to focus intently, to generate clear intentions, and to achieve your ambitions through methodical steps and an applied will. You have the internal resources you need for successful completion. Even if no one else recognizes your potential or believes in your future success, they will understand differently in due course. By then, you will already be moving on to your next task. Trust your sense of timing, have patience. When you know it is the time to leap, do so without hesitation. Puma moves through your soul as guardian and guide. When Puma appears, it is a significant sign that you have come into your power. Puma moves with stealth and silence, observant and patient, as it's a she, narrows her focus. Okay, okay. She cultivates energy so that the correct amount of inner power for the outer action is there when needed. When she strikes, it is with precision and effectiveness. She doesn't waste energy. She chooses her opportunities. Hesitation is not in her nature. There is no time or energy for doubt and uncertainty when one is fully engaged, consciously participating in the moment. You may wonder if this sounds much like you. You may consider yourself to be, at least sometimes, more of a doubter than one prone to fearlessness and uncertainty. Yet the soul medicine of Puma builds within us silently. We may not even realize that her power is there until suddenly, when it is needed, we act with unerring focus and unwavering commitment. We literally didn't know we had it in us until the time came and an attitude of swift, unfailing responsiveness somehow arose from within. Puma is cautious, steady, and poised until the right moment to act is upon her. Then she leaves her cover behind, and with unwavering focus, she strikes. You are guided by her to keep your motives, plans, and preparation out of public view. Attend to your work. Become ready to be it rather than to talk about it. Part of this medicine is strategy, planning, and visualizing the end result. This requires simplicity and clarity. Even if the destiny you are seeking to manifest is big and bold, there will be simple steps to take along the way. Puma is a huntress with single focus. She goes after what is required at each moment, one step at a time, and thereby attains her goals. She strikes successfully because she works precisely. Take time to formulate your goals. Go after them one by one with patience and calculated timing. Take charge of the situation through a willingness to bide your time, cultivate energy and courage, and trust your intuition to leap when you know the right moment is upon you. Puma might bring us the power we need to step into a new role, seize control of a failing project, cut off a toxic situation in our lives, or cease unhelpful negative self talk. She indicates that changing relationship with power is available to you now. If you have been repelled by the malicious use of power by others, let me find where I was. That just got me. If you have been repelled by the malicious use of power by others or even yourself, recognize this and let it go. Forgive. Give yourself the chance to use your power safely and wisely. Know that you are smart enough to learn from what didn't honor your soul in the past. When you ask the divine to guide you from within your heart, your movements in the world shall benefit more than only yourself. This this just this just use of power, like justice, surrendered and in service to the great power of the divine, will help you overcome your reluctance and lay claim to your will. Your will is needed to transform inspiration into action. The world truly needs this from you. Whatever it is that you dream of attaining or desire to do in this world, Puma arrives with his message. You have the power. Okay. Now to say this aloud. This is a healing process. Sorry, I have a few little tangles in my hair. Again, I like playing with my hair. It's kind of a relaxing feeling. It pulls at my scalp and, let it's like those have nots, what nots, untie the knots. Find a comfortable place to relax and say aloud, Puma, spirit of the sun, fire of the earth, you are fierceness and intelligence, use of power, embodied in sacred feminine form. Your presence awakens the power within my soul, and I leave doubt and fear behind. I am patient. I am determined. I shall not be swayed from my purpose. Procrastination and hesitation are no longer part of my way. I embrace your gifts for the greatest good. With your certainty, I find my conviction renewed. It is not a question of if, but a question of when. My spiritual attainment is inevitable. So be it. Slowly read through this simple visualization as you feel the energy in the description. Golden fur, shimmering copper in the sunlight, heat pulsing beneath the skin as waves of contained energy are ready to be channeled in clean action at the right moment. Lean and powerful muscle, watchful, steady gaze, no thought or distraction, just pure focus. The power rises within, and the moment to leap is here. Action, aliveness, The wisdom of bold aliveness without hesitation is within my soul, and I claim it. Now either close your eyes and relax, or get up and move your body in whatever way feels best. For as long as feels good to you, you have completed your healing process. Thank you, Puma. You beautiful, beautiful, beautiful being. All right, let's put that on top. Forgot to pray. Oh, sorry, baby. I'm sorry, baby. Oh, we got some salt there. A little pink salt. I was making a Zen garden in this box. I talked about this before. Making a Zen garden in this box my son made years ago. Probably should have painted it. It's kind of old, but I'm kind of wanted to leave it like it was because that's how he made it. But anyway, man, this thing is still burning. Burning, burning, burning. Wow, what is going on here, Missy? Guess we are burning off some energy here. I'm gonna say it again. Pining energy. Um. Anyway, so I didn't have enough sand, so I used pink Himalayan salt. So sun, sand, and salt and sand. Like, ooh, I need to go to pink sand beaches. I need to put that on my list. Whoa, whoa. I don't know what to tell you, but look. And this is a little metal ashtray, like a little antique ashtray. That sucker is hot. That's holding it up there. Yeah. Tony Robbins is walking on lava rocks, I think. I don't know. Walking on hot coals, that's what it is. I'm a little scared of that. I'm sure I could do it, but I've attended some of those seminars. Not when we walked on hot. Um, ashes. But I did attend Dream Builders in California one year, and that was interesting. It was great. I met some great people and got to see a little bit of California. And I rented a car and took off on my own for a while and just kind of saw the sights. And um, the only thing that I can say, though, I mean, I think they work. I've seen it work for people. I've seen this work for people. Um, there was a woman that was there with me who was going to do the prices right, and she went to this dream builders where you can create your dream life, and she focused on winning, and I'll be darned if I think she even won the showcase. I mean, if I remember right, it was just like I followed to see if it worked, and it worked, and I was like, "Are you joking? Wow! Now why can't I do that? What's going on with me?" Uh, Maybe it's just I have a different path, and so yeah. Um, I think, and I don't know. Um, I do know that you can change your brain chemistry. I do know that there's neuroplasticity, and I do know that, you know, people who've had trauma it changes their brain. So I'm working on changing my brain, and I have been. I mean, I listen to binaural beats. I done cacao. I've look, it may all be silly and crazy, and none of it may have been real. But I'll tell you what, I've got stories. I have read the research. I felt it. I've done it. Maybe that's why this was my journey, so that I could bring what I've learned from my experience, like how people can be judgmental. I remember I was a single mom, just like in the middle of two teenagers, two ex husbands, a mother, um, trying to get my life back after hitting rock bottom, near death experience, traumatizing my children, and I was just trying to get back on my feet. I and this gentleman was trying to get me to give him some money for something. And it was law of attraction related, and it was, is one of those things. Look, go on the ads on Facebook. Start looking up life coaching. You'll get ads after 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 ads, right? But this is a long time ago, right? This was may have even been a secret society. And so he was talking about money, and I said, look, this is where I am in my life. I mean, I don't know where you expect me to get this kind of money from. you know do you not understand what I'm facing right now? And he was like, you just don't believe enough, and that's why you're poor. And he's like, if you would just let go of the money, da, da, da. And I was like, um, I and maybe it would have worked, I don't know. But you can't tell someone who's been in survivor mode, who has pulled themselves out of a deep, dark hole and just getting back on their feet and not trusting very many people to just give me the money in your savings account and I'm going to teach you how to get rich. And I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. There are people out there who, well, and it could happen to me still. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we have to be very aware that the brains of people who've been through multiple traumas and continue to face some of the deepest and darkest things in life, it's it's different. And I understand it's still going to be the same, yet I don't know. There's so much studies on the brains out there, and yes, you can rewire your brain, and uh, it takes courage. And I'm not saying people who traumatize can't do it, because I am. What I'm saying is people just have to be a little more understanding what happens to the brain, what happens to the heart. And for some, what happens to the body? I mean, we have to understand. Or we don't have to. I mean, whatever. I just think it's important. And it's important for me to understand this and to know that I've worked, I've studied, I've participated, I've experienced, and just recently, a year ago, I blew up my whole existence and moved closer to my children because we used to live in a suburb, and they both moved into the town or into the city because more jobs, more friends, and so I and my friends are in town, so I moved back in town, and that kind of blew up my whole entire life. And now that I'm here, it's like I've had all of my a lot of things for 15 years. Things I got at garage sales, and not that I'm not still going to get things at garage sales, but possibly something a little more my style now. Who knows? I don't know until I find it. I mean, I know what I do need, uh, or want. I want another yellow chair. Well, it won't be matchy match, but to match, just for people to sit. I want. I'm trying to figure out how to put a um, like a little fireplace feature in my house, but right now with things that I've got going on, there's and the furniture I have, but this is furniture I don't want to let go of. They're fainting couches, and I love them. I love them, love them, love them. But I might have to put one in the craft room. I don't know. We'll see. Lots and lots of plans to make, and I don't know. Sometimes I don't know until I move other things around and gotten painting done and things hung up and things moved that another idea comes to me, and that's when I orchestrate and instigate and do the thing. So anyway, I'm tired and I'm just talking, sleepy, silly talking, and probably go take a hot bath. I don't know, this thing is still burning. It's pretty good stuff, I guess. So, thank you for listening to myself. Thank you, self. I love you. You sure are cute. Good night.